Hey guys, welcome back to the Web Monkey Show, and today's video is going to be directed specifically at freelance web developers. So if you're watching this video and you are a freelance web developer or you want to become a freelance web developer, this video is going to be for you because I'm going to be discussing what I believe is the biggest mistake that so many freelance web developers continue to make. And I'm able to say this, I'm able to make this video because I do have hundreds of my students who are freelance web developers and they make the exact same mistake all the time. Now, what exactly is this mistake? Well, the mistake, believe it or not, is not charging enough money. In other words, you're way too cheap. Now, I know this may come as a shock to you because you're thinking, well, if I charge less than my competition, then obviously I'm going to be more attractive to prospective clients. I mean, obviously the clients will want to go with the more affordable option, right? Well, turns out that isn't necessarily true. And in fact, I would argue that the cheaper you become as a service provider, as a freelance web developer, the worse kinds of clients you're actually going to attract. The best clients are actually the ones who pay you the most money. Not only because they're paying you good money, but for some odd reason, they typically tend to be the most reasonable kinds of clients also. I don't know what it is. Obviously, you might be thinking, well, if the client is paying more money, then obviously they're going to be more demanding. They might have higher expectations. But it turns out that it is the clients who actually pay less that tend to have the highest of expectations. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure that there must be some sort of study out there that discovers why this is the case. But I'm speaking from my own experience and also the experience of so many friends of mine who are very experienced web developers as well. The worst kinds of clients we have ever had were the ones that paid the least amount of money. And the best clients I've ever had are the ones that actually paid the most money. Now, how much you should charge, there is no easy answer to this. It all depends on so many factors, right? It's obviously going to depend on the kind of website you're building, how complicated it is. It's going to depend on who the client is. Are they like a business or is it an individual? Is it going to be for charity? Other factors like, when's the deadline? When do they expect the website to be built? Obviously, you can charge more if they're like in a rush and they want the website built as quickly as possible, So there's so many factors that come into determining how much you should actually charge. But the classic mistake I don't want you to make is to charge with the strategy of the less I charge, the more attractive I'm going to be as a freelance web developer, because trust me, that isn't the case. What you want to do is this, okay? Charge what you think is actually fair, not just to the company, but also to yourself. Do not undervalue what you bring to the table. Obviously, if you're somebody who is just starting out as a junior freelance web developer, you don't really have that much experience, obviously you don't have the right to start charging $100 per hour. Of course not. You got to start from somewhere. But eventually, at some point, you need to recognize also what you bring to the table as well. You have the skills. You're a good web developer. You over-deliver on your promises as well. And you know what you're worth. Charge what you honestly think you are worth. I might even argue charge just a little bit extra as well. Because the thing is, there are so many good clients out there that would actually get turned off because you're charging way too less, okay? They will look at you and they'll be like, if you're charging $10 an hour, but I'm seeing this other web developer in here charging $50 an hour, why is that the case? It could be because you're charging $10 an hour because you're simply not that good. Like if you're really good at what you're doing, if you're a really good web developer, you would be charging closer to $50 an hour. That's how so many good clients actually think. That's how I would think as well. If I wanted to hire someone to get the job done for me, and I see that this person is charging $5 an hour, but I see another person charging $20 an hour or $25 an hour, I'm thinking to myself, there must be a reason why they're charging 4 or 5 times what this person is charging. I'm going to do further research, and it very often turns out that the person charging more typically has more experience and they're better at the job, and I would rather go with that person that I believe can get the job done. Because trust me, going with the cheaper service provider, well, you get what you paid for, right? So you pay less, you're going to get poor quality. That's how I think. That's how so many companies and businesses think as well. So please do not make that mistake of charging less than what you're actually worth. Charge what you genuinely believe you're worth. Do not be shy about it. Do not make any apologies about it, because trust me, you want to attract quality clients. Not every client is going to be a good client. Quality over quantity. It's going to be a lot better if you had one client that was paying you $50 an hour to get the work done, as opposed to you having 5 different clients paying you $10 an hour. It's still the exact same amount of money you're earning, but at least in the first scenario, you're dealing with one single client as opposed to the second scenario where you're dealing with 5 different clients. It's going to be a lot easier to manage one client, right? So just to recap, do not undercharge. Do not be cheap with how much you charge. Charge what you believe you're actually worth. And in fact, you may add a little bit extra as well. So that's a very, very quick tip I wanted to share with you today. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are. If you have any other questions relating to our work as a freelance web developer, you have some questions or things like that, feel free to share your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. If you're new here to the channel, welcome to the Web Monkey. My name is Alex. I make videos around WordPress and web development and freelance web development and so on. So please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. If you enjoyed today's video, do give it a thumbs up. Share the video with anyone who may feel might benefit from it, and of course, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.